So, whoops.
Well, we're in the post-show now, which means we need to discuss
Post-show.
movie.
Yes. Now, it's funny is, I don't know if you noticed, but for a long time I was calling it Colorado a whisker way. This is not very cold anymore.
What? What?
And I think the reason...
Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado a whisker way, and I think it's because the studio that made it was Colorado. But... Shut up, Daisy. It's hot in here. Shut up. My hair is
You have a swamp
poofy.
cooler. I got a fan.
I need to put more ice in it. It's not hot anymore. It's not hot anymore. It's not cool anymore. It's blowing me air.
Well, it shouldn't be.
Shut up.
Right,
But
let's talk about this.
I watched it in ye old dub. Boss, did you watch it in sub or dub? Boss?
Did you watch the movie in sub or dub?
Dub.
It was a good dub, though. It was a good dub.
I watched it in sub like a normal human being.
No.
Like
No.
a normal human with time to pause the movie every 10 to 15 minutes and just go, how's it only been 10 minutes?
It was not that bad. All right. So, for those of you who have not seen the movie, it is a movie pretty much about a girl who can shapeshift into a cat, and she uses that ability.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What?
It is about a girl who is sold a cat mask.
I was
That lets her
summarizing
shapeshift
it
into a cat.
short for once, and you...
Summarize better. Summarize better. Sold a cat mask that allows her to turn into a cat so she can go and see the guy she has a crush on.
Yeah, pretty much. But... And...
That's the movie.
I had mixed feelings about this movie, because, boss, you might get some spoilers. I'm sorry about that. But come on, what other outcomes would there be for a movie like this other than happy ending or bad ending? So, like, there's only two outcomes, so...
It's a movie that wants to be a Studio Ghibli film so bad.
And honestly, I enjoy it, but I had mixed feelings, because at least the first half of the movie, she is creepy. I'm sorry. What's her name?
Horribly creepy.
What's her name? Her nickname means nothing, by the way. The nickname they give her, Muyo or whatever like that, it means nothing. It's actually a really rude nickname. They literally called her nothing. All the kids at school.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you gotta be super creepy. And like, basically, she's not a very good person. She just kind of shuts her heart off to like everyone, and like nobody. There's like almost no good people in this movie, except for like the dad and the dad's girlfriend slash.
the dad's girlfriend tries. She strikes me as a person that does not know how to relate to children at all.
The dad tries so hard. I mean, like the main character's mom just leaves them.
So you
We
pretty
don't
much...
ever get any reason why.
No.
They never told us why she just leaves. So like, here's a dude who's like, his wife just leaves him one day.
With the daughter.
He's like, well, I'm just gonna try and rebuild my life. And his daughter is just like, screw you, dad. And I'm like, he's doing his best.
Yeah. So, like,
Just the dude doing his best.
he gets remarried, or if whether or not they're married or just together, him and the
Yeah,
stepmom. They didn't really specify.
I think it's just girlfriend because at least the year before they were just girlfriend. Because the mom was all like, the start of the movie, the mom was the festival, and the mom was all like, oh, he's moving in with her, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there like, oh man. Yeah.
And then she tried to convince the girl the mother that walked out on her tried to convince the girl to go move with her. Like,
Yeah, I don't understand I literally don't get this lady. She walks out on her family, and then like a while later, she's all like, yeah, I want you to come move in with me. Why is he going out with his lady? Why is he moving in with her?
maybe
I'm like,
because he
"You
deserves
walked
happiness.
away."
Maybe because dad
Yeah,
deserves
like, what are you
happiness.
saying, man?
Exactly.
She's my daughter, dude. And it's just like, you walked away. You
Exactly.
left. No
And-
one else made you.
And you find out that this girl only has literally one friend. One friend.
Yeah, one friend, and holy crap. I mean, it is.
The friend is a
like,
saint,
she's
I have to
creepy
say.
The one dude
She's got a
is a saint.
she's got a crush on the one guy, and she's not even like a normal girl crush. It'd be like tee hee 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 hee. Oh, he's so cute. No, she's outspoken about it.
Yeah.
She actively pursues him frequently, and it's almost a type of active pursuing that you see in young males who don't get the message, not young females.
Yeah, no, I was talking to my girlfriend about that, and she was like, if that had been a guy doing that, the movie would not have been made.
Yeah,
Because can you imagine a dude doing that stuff she was doing, where she's like,
it'd be assault.
It'd
be assault.
Yeah, she goes up to him in class and is like, "Can I record your voice so I could listen to it before I go to bed?" And I'm like, "What?" And everyone's just like, "Yeah, you're giving off some serious stalker vibes right now." And I'm just like, "No, you don't just sit there and be like,
Yeah, she's very creepy.
Oh, you and your stalker vibes. Stop it." Like, her friend has a point. Her friend's like, "Just give up. Just stop."
Yeah,
Move on.
he's obviously not interested in you. And then, see, and that's one thing. And then I knew watching this movie that it would turn out to be, well, he's going to like her anyway. And that's the thing that, learn to like your stalker. Of what kind of message are they giving here? But that's why I have mixed feelings about this movie, because I enjoyed it. Well, after halfway through it, I was like, "Oh, come on!" But then once you learn more about the things and learn more about what, because the girl's going through some heavy stuff with her parents and everything like that, and the fact that she's just not handling life as her age well. You find out the boy's going through stuff. Like, I think his dad was dead, right?
I mean, we already. His dad's dead and his mom is up.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
Holy crap.
And the boy wants to be a potter.
You have to support us.
Yeah.
I did like the daughter being like, "Oh, how very traditional of you, Mom."
Yeah, and the daughter didn't really
and
get.
She points out, it's like, "Well, it's not like you're gonna do anything."
Yeah, the daughter didn't really get. And it was the older sister of the boy that was her crush.
Yeah.
But the boy was getting immense pressure from his mom to succeed and to go to this school and to do this and this and this, and
very, very tiger mom.
Yeah, and he wasn't. He just wanted to make pottery with his grandpa. Like, his grandpa he had a pottery shop and he made his own pottery, and he was teaching
his grandpa was still doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and
you find out that they were gonna have to
shut down
later on,
because of
the grandpa's vision's going.
Yeah, his health issues, and the kid just has his own depression, and like that's why he's so distant to anyone at school. And it's not just the girl; it's that he just has so many problems at home that he's just trying to focus on his studies. And then, well, the girl does get. Go ahead.
Okay, so they both have issues, and they both aren't dealing with it in healthy ways. Like, he's obviously just trying to repress it and not express it, but he's not shutting himself off completely to everyone. Like, he still has a friend. He still hangs out with people. She has a friend too, but like, when you see her, like, literally everyone.
Hinori. The boy's name is Hinori. Sorry, the boy's name is Hinori. Hinori Sunrise.
Besides her friend and her crush are scarecrows.
Yeah, just because she blocks him out.
But that means she doesn't see anyone as a person.
Yeah.
Like, no one is a person to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, wow.
And most likely it's a self-defense mechanism, because we come to find out, like, I'm not excusing the behavior, I'm just explaining it.
No.
We come to find out that she's not had an easy go of her school days. Like, even, you get a flashback of when her mom first left her. She was a lot younger, and there was girls making fun of her because her mom walked out on her. And...
haha, your mom didn't even want you. And
exactly.
Man, that is very much what little kids would do, though.
Yeah.
That is, little kids are savage.
They really are.
Kids will be like, what was it? There was a comedian who had made that joke where he's like, he saw two kids fighting over a ball, and one kid ripped the ball out of his hands. He's like, "Yeah, well, that's why your dad's in a wheelchair." And it's like, yeah, little kids will just hit you with that. They don't care.
Yeah, but they've had to. But as a parent of two small children, they have to hear that kind of stuff before they can repeat it. That kind of venom, and that makes you go, "What kind of like my kid? The things my kids say. Look, I know They're mine, and I just said they have to hear it first, but the internet is in their lives, so.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's not always the parents. It's like media that they consume. And stuff
Or
like that.
like I have an older nephew. I have a nephew who's 16, and he loves playing with my boys, but they repeat anything and everything he says.
Because they look up to him probably.
Yeah,
So
they want to emulate that.
they like him.
Yep. And
Yeah,
so,
they emulate him.
but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like I'm gonna get back to the movie. Sorry, I was getting distracted and off topic, but
I was gonna get back to the movie too and just say like the main villain of the movie is the masked self, aka the cat, the super fat cat that.
I don't know.
I
Well,
don't
that's
know
the way
why
the movie
he's the
portrays
only
it.
Magical cat.
But this girl is her own main villain. She is her own worst enemy.
Oh God, yeah, no. But he's the main villain in that the movie has to have a conflict, and that's what I mean by it's trying to be a Studio Ghibli film.
But it's
really hard.
honestly, I prefer that because it was turning into a slice of life anime real quick with a little bit of cat magic sprinkled in, and then the craziness happened, and I like that better. Honestly,
It is, but in general, it is the most basic monkey paw. You don't know what you have till it's gone story.
yeah.
Like, it is the most like by the book, by the number, monkey paw. Don't know what hero doesn't know what he has till it's gone story, and that's why I was bored by it because I was like, holy crap, this is so basic. Like it is literally just following every beat.
You're not wrong. And it did kind of get
That's
me how this kid all of a sudden, like, as you said, as soon as she. So pretty much, I'm going to give a quick recap. She got this mask from Mask Seller, turned it cat, and she pretty much stalks this kid as a cat.
Yeah, and lives with him for a year.
A year? Oh,
It's
like.
a year. The summer
Yeah,
festival is when
from.
he first
Yeah, you're
found
right,
her,
you're right. I
and
thought
then
you meant
we're
like
going
a
to the
year
next
in
summer
between, like when she was missing. I'm like, wait a minute, no. But.
festival. No, she was only missing for like
Tensions at her home escalate, and eventually she runs away and decides she's going to be a cat. But one thing I want to touch on, because the mask seller did occasionally harass her, like, "Are you ready to give me your human face? You should be a."
become a cat.
Yeah.
Be a human, be a cat.
And that it was cute how she still tried to like wash her hands and use the toilet properly. And Megan, we're steamrolling over the top of you again. I am so sorry.
You're fine.
So-
I'm enjoying listening to you guys.
If you have any thoughts, please feel free to speak them. Not.
Well, it was a very interesting movie. I can't say I like or disliked it though. I'm still kind of like,
You've not finished it yet, so I apologize for these spoilers we're about to give you, because now we're heading into the end game with the discussion of it. But pretty much tensions raise at her home, and we've only been talking about this for 7 minutes. Wow, sorry. I thought this had been a lot longer.
13. I've been recording the post show for 13.
Oh, well then I'm retarded.
But,
Anyway,
yeah,
tensions raise at
we
home,
end up going
and
into
she
loses her face.
she runs away, and the mask seller corners her at her like lowest because she also hears Hinori say just something odd. He said she wrote him a love note, and one of the other kids stole it. Embarrassed the hell out of her.
Yeah, that was
Embarrassed the
messed up.
hell out
That
of
was
him.
messed up.
Yeah, embarrassed the
was
hell out
super
of
messed up.
both of them. And then Hinori obviously is very embarrassed because in the class, like, well, what are you going to say to her? Are you going to respond to her love? And he yells at her. Yeah, he says he hates her. And, like, honestly, my heart broke for her at that moment. Even though she's been, like, our creepy stalker, she's still a person. She's a child that has not been... Her parents have, like, her dad and her stepmom tried, but there's just... They need mental help. Really, they need a therapist or a psychologist to have a talk with them.
My heart didn't break for her, only because I was more like, I wasn't sad for her as much as I was like mad at the two douchebags.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was more like, look, lady, this was a long time coming. You need to hear this. You need to
But-
break out of your delusion. You need it. And I was like, but those two guys, holy crap! How can you be that level of ass?
As a
Like,
student,
there's
as when I
there's
was
like
in
a
high
level-
school. Go ahead, sorry.
like they took bullying to a comic degree. But I guess it's also because she jumped off of a building and crashed into a tree in
To
front of them
try
and
to
assaulted
defend
them.
because they were
Like, in
talking
all
amongst
honesty,
themselves.
I sort of understand why they did it, because she was kind of being a you know, that was kind of like their little revenge because she berated them in front of the entire school. Like, in all honesty, you understand it's a back and forth thing. You know why it's happening, but I was like, that's still taking it a little too far.
Yeah,
But I understand why it's happening.
me too.
Like,
I understand.
look, lady, you can't yell at two people in front of the entire school and not expect someone to do something back to you.
No, I do.
You're 14.
And honestly, like the parents tried, but they these kids needed both Hinori and our main character both probably needed some counseling if because mental health is something that we've discussed a little bit here and there and how it's very much taken for granted. Like people who are mentally healthy do not realize how lucky they are to be and not be able to be in that that low or those feelings or those you know what I'm saying that the people that are completely mentally healthy and that do not have the lowest lows and stuff like that it's hard to understand.
The thing is, though, is that looking at her as a character, I literally cannot sympathize with her. Only because she has had so many people in her life trying. Like, her dad was trying really hard. Like, oh, who's this guy? Whoa, what's his name? Are you guys going out? Who would confess to who? And he's like, he's trying to be a part of her
He
life.
is trying.
Like, Dad, I gotta go be a cat.
But
God.
don't forget the
like,
age range. Like, if these were adults, it'd be a different story. I'm not sympathizing or saying that her behavior was right. It was not. All of her behavior until at least the very end, and it was slapped her in the face that she needed to change. But all of her behavior was wrong. But she's also a teenager. Being a teenager is already a really hard part of life.
14.
That's a hard stage of life, especially for a kid who's picked on, especially for a kid whose mother left them, which leaves insecurity issues, and especially for a kid that has and this passion for this boy. Like before the last summer festival, we didn't hear much of Hinori in her life. It was that moment that she connected with him, even though she was a cat out there at that summer festival. That's the one that she went back to. That's like the first. I don't know if it really was, but someone held her. Someone talked to her. And yes, she has that, but it's not a peer.
So delusional.
It is.
She's so delusional. Her friend is right. She's mixing fantasy with reality throughout like the entire thing. She is mixing her fantasies with what's really happening, which is, I'm a cat right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in her mind, she's like, I'm not a cat. And it's like, no, you're a cat. Remember, you're a cat.
Yeah, and she will imagine herself as her normal self in embracing when Hinori's embracing her cat form. And yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean, I agree with it, but I also say, like, this girl's got issues, and she clung to Hinori. Because
And that's the thing, is I don't get.
Hinori was cuddling with a cat, and she was a person inside that cat body, and so she created that bond there. That's like, if I can just get him to like me in my human form.
I didn't feel a connection. I didn't feel a connection to the main character at all. I could not get connected to her just because she's so delusional most of the time that I can't associate with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And
like,
just
a lot of times I'm just rolling my yeah, because she is, and she mistreats her only friend. Like,
and her dad.
Yeah, but that's to be expected for the age, though. Really, like if we're honest.
I mean, yeah, the teenagers do stupid crap, but like this whole thing where
Teenagers think they know it all. I know. I was one.
Yeah,
Everybody was one.
but
We've all been there.
She ends up losing her human face, you know.
She gives it up because
Not being able to hear. Yeah.
the-
She ends up not being able to hear human.
the mass seller convinces her to that, like, look, you can be happy with him. Yeah, but before she ran off, her dad and her stepmom were trying, because she came home crying from that school day where she was embarrassed by the love letter.
Again, the dad is trying so
They tried,
hard.
and they weren't even being like authoritarian, pushy. They were just like,
No,
"We're here for you. Are you okay?"
yeah, the dad, the whole movie's like, "Hey, sweetie, what's up? Like, oh, you love boiled sweet potatoes, so I made sure she made you boiled sweet potatoes." And she's like, "No, kids like me like the fatty meat." And he's just like, "Oh, well, all right, if that's what you're into now." Like, he's so supportive.
Yeah,
That's what I don't get. Why she's like such a dad. He's so supportive and nice.
he
Like
is.
the dude's mom is like horrible. She's just terrible.
She is. But
I
so
don't
she runs away and she starts living with Hinori and his family as a cat.
As a cat, she, like I said, she loses her ability to hear.
Yeah, she can't understand him anymore. Like,
Then she sees 3 days later. She sees her walking around.
yep. And like,
Turns out
meanwhile, in the
her
background, her
step-
family and everything are looking for her, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And now the stepmom that
Until
lived
she
with
comes
him
back.
had a cat,
Yeah.
and that cat
got
go ahead.
the face.
Got her
She
face.
the main character's face.
Yes, she did. And the
Which is interesting.
and the reason why the cat
that
did it.
development-
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that development's interesting because that's when you find out that the masked seller, what's in it for him, is that on the day of the summer festival, when she turns into a full cat, he gets half of her lifespan, and the other cat, who is now her in her body, gets the other half of her lifespan.
Yes, because
So
humans
pretty much
live.
The masked seller does this just to live forever.
Yes, pretty much. And there's a confrontation between the cat in the girl's body and the girl in the cat's body, and
And
pretty much you find out that the cat in the girl's body, she is doing this because her normal cat lifespan is almost over, and she loves
yeah,
the girl's stepmom. She loves her. Her whole life has been
Yeah.
devoted to that lady, and that lady's been devoted to that cat. And she says, in this way,
Right.
she's not sad anymore, because when you're missing, she's sad, and then she won't. I'll be around her for longer this way. I will be her best daughter. I'll be the daughter that you couldn't be for her, kind of thing. And she's like, no, I preferred being a cat, but this way my person is happy. And I've had many pets over the years, and that it was sad because of the fact that that cat was gonna literally give up the rest of her life as a cat, which she loved being, so she could be there for this woman. We know very little about the stepmom other than she tried as well. She tried, like she went out of her,
That's
as you
another
said,
thing.
yeah.
That's another thing. Like, that's why I couldn't get into this movie. Is like, we don't really learn much about everyone else involved. It's really focused on this girl that to me was just like insufferable.
And that's fair. And then pretty
Right.
much then this stuff starts really getting crazy. Like the cat kind of tells her where she has to go to like the secret cat city and stuff. And so
Well, yeah.
our main character follows this path that only she can see because now she's a cat, and walks over to the sacred tree, which is the tree you mentioned earlier, and pretty much finds a city full of cats. Well, Hinori, back at school, the main character's body, which the cat is inside, is back at school, and all of them notice she's different. And and then she just outright says it, like, "Do you like me? Because if you don't, I'll leave you alone,"
She
kind
goes
of
to his
thing.
house and it's like, "Do you like me?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But I mean, before she also, there's a whole lot of things that go on. but
yeah,
it's-
we'd be
it's
here
not really
for
important.
forever, but yeah.
Eventually we get to the point where the cat realizes that she can't make the stepmom happy because the stepmom's super depressed because her cat's missing,
hmm
and so she's like, "Well, I don't want to be human now. I want to be a cat again."
So she
But
goes
she'll
and
still find-
she tells Hinori.
yeah, and she's like, "Come on," and he's like, "Well, he's blah, blah, blah." He's like, she's like, "Ah, I bet he's soft through me." Boom, cat's in there with a mask, and he freaks out, and she laughs at him, and they go to the cat place.
Yes,
Pretty
she
much
takes him to the.
basic thing that happened there. There's really not a whole lot that happens in this movie.
Well, as I said,
Long
I enjoyed it.
stretches.
I would watch it again, but it definitely
This
has.
is not a movie made for men.
Well, that's fair. I would watch it again. And like in the
This is
Cat
really
City,
not.
you come to find out that there was more people tricked by the mask seller, and they want to
That's
help the
A
girl.
disappointing thing to me. let me give you an example. If this was a Studio Ghibli film, all of the Cat City part, everything that happens in like the last 20 minutes of the movie, because that's pretty much the Cat City is the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
That would have been the main part of the movie if this was a Studio Ghibli film.
It might have started in the Cat City. Yeah.
You would have had girl doing her little thing, and then getting turned into a cat and not being want to be a human because of bad things happening to her life, and then she'd spend the vast majority of the time in the Cat City trying to like learn her lessons and things like that, and then you would get the conflict at the end, and then you would get her going back. If this was a Studio Ghibli film, that's how it would have gone.
Probably.
Like thinking about like Spirited Away.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was not a Studio Ghibli film, so they spent 90% of the movie on a romance that really shouldn't have gone anywhere.
And pretty much Shinori now all of a sudden cares about her because
he stalked someone hard enough. It was always her supporting me. It was always her.
Just
like,
try to understand your stalker, guys. Don't really do that. Disclaimer, that was only for a bit. Okay, that was not. Do not report any stalkers you have to local law enforcement, okay? Don't try to understand them.
It's a great lesson for everyone.
Yeah, but pretty much and I can see, like, I can understand why he came to that. I can understand why, but he shouldn't have. Like, it should not have been that way. But you know what? We are not writing the movie. We're just talking about it.
Syndrome, yeah.
We're just talking about
like
it.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, pretty much.
You grow to appreciate your captor.
Yeah, pretty much. And she did put him in a position because, like, Japanese especially are very much on manners and politeness and political correctness. And when she acted out like that, not only did she embarrass herself, she embarrassed him as well because it was focused toward him.
Yes, exactly.
And he was trying to be very reserved and just get through with what his mother wanted. But then at the same time, because of those realizations, he got the courage to essentially tell his mother off, which is good. And then, like,
yes,
I'm not going to finish breaking down the rest of the movie. Obviously, happy ending. Like, there's a big
battle with the cat.
The cat mask, dude. And yelling their feelings at each other while they're doing stuff. And as I said, I mean, it was... And then as it comes to an end, everyone gets their happy ending. The one cat's back with the mom. The girl is back in... The girl that was turned into a cat gets back into a human. But here's the thing is that she realizes that she needs to change. It's not just like, I can continue doing my behaviors this way and it's fine. No, she realizes that she needs to change.
Kind of. She said maybe.
Well, in the dub...
To care about them.
In the dub, she said, I have to change, I will change.
In the sub, she says, maybe I'll learn to care about them too. And I was like, oh yeah. Great character.
No, she in the dub it was I have to change, I will change. And then, like, her friend, she needs to appreciate her friend more and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. You should appreciate your people more. But here's the thing is that she should have known this already. She should not have had to go through this magical adventure to learn how to be a decent human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said it wants to be a Studio Ghibli film so bad.
And a lot of the Studio Ghibli films do grow with the personal growth. And, like, at her age, she, like, you want to say, oh, well, she's just a kid, but at her age, it's coming out of the she's just a kid excuse.
Yeah, she's 14. You gotta have a little bit more common sense.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, this is like the most basic monkey's paw kind of story.
Yeah.
That just follows the beats. It just follows the beats, and that's why I was bored by it, because it was like, we're just following the beats. We're going through the basic story that has been told 1,000 times, and we're not really doing much with it.
No, not really. I mean, as I said, it wasn't a bad movie. I would probably watch it again, but it wasn't a great movie. It wasn't a great movie.
No, I wouldn't watch it again.
And I'm sorry, boss, that you have not finished it and we kind of spoiled the ending for you, but it was pretty, like, cut and dry. Like, what else you can expect?
It ends the way you would expect it to end.
That's why I didn't get, like, into the major details of the ending, but happy ending.
The masked seller only existed to have conflict. Like, because a story needs conflict. That's literally what it felt like. Was like, stories have conflict, and thus we need this masked seller for that.
Yes, here's the question. If the mask seller had not given her the mask or sold her the mask in the first place, if the mask seller did not exist, would any of this conflict exist? Probably not. So he was a project. Yeah, because
she wouldn't have even been in love with the guy.
She might have had a little crush on him because he was cute, but the reason why she even had that after she became a cat. Exactly.
Yeah.
And she only got those feelings after she had turned into a cat, so.
Yeah, it didn't. It's not like she had them before. It's not like she cared about him before. Like.
Yeah, there was no mention of that before.
Going from the trailer, what I expected from the movie, from the trailer, was a girl who had a crush on this guy, and she couldn't express herself, and so she got this magical mask, and that's what allowed her to finally, like, see him and kind of express herself in a way. And I was like, alright, that's a basic love story, kind of, I'm not going to be too into it. What I got was a crazy lady turned into a cat, and some dude
stalker
took her in while it was raining, and she suddenly, like, became super attached to him, and she didn't even really know him at all.
Exactly.
And then she was attached to him for a year.
Yeah.
But
it was a very different, like, one.
But she came to know Hinori after that year of cat stalking.
Yeah, but it's still creepy.
Yeah.
It's still very, very creepy.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a decent movie. It definitely, I thought it would be a little more than that, but as I said, I'd watch it again.
I wanted more. I wanted more to the characters. I really expected something different, and that's where my main source of disappointment comes from. Is I expected a story told better, I guess.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can do with that, like the way they presented it.
Well, the way I presented it is a vastly different story. You know,
yeah.
The girl that likes the guy but can't express. That's a vastly different story to what we got.
Oh, she expresses it. She expresses it too much.
Yeah. No, it's the exact opposite story. I was really thinking that there was going to be subtlety in the movie with the way it was presented. But again, that's because of the way it was presented in the trailer.
Yep.
Which at some point we need to talk about trailers being false advertisement.
You're not wrong. But
oh man.
But they gotta get those views though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta get those views.
Gotta get them views.
Still.
Yeah, but all in all, not awful. It's worth watching once, I would say. For sure. For me, anyway.
I think I'm gonna finish it just to see.
Yeah, you should finish it.
Romance films. For all of you patrons, if you don't like romance films, just avoid it. Just avoid it if you don't like it. It focuses very heavy on the romance.
It does. And it also focuses a lot on this girl and her way of thinking, too. And it's just like, first off, you're wrong. Like, all of those things you just did was wrong. So wrong. And like, I understand, like, even go back to that love note. I'm going to touch on that for another minute. Go back to that love note. The only reason why she even wrote it was she, in her own way, she was trying to encourage Hinori. That's why she wrote it. It wasn't exactly like a declaration of love, but, like, she wanted to write it to be like, look, you're special. I know you don't think you are, but you are special. I see that you're special. But it's still... coming from his exactly. She's a stalker. She constantly harasses me. Literally, like, harassment could be put up in a court of law. And here she is writing me love notes and shit. Well, that's why my air was hot. The fan, the water pump turned off. Well, that was now it's cool again.
There's a lot to that note where it would be like, how the fuck do you know about any of this, lady?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. And honestly, if I was in the boy's shoes, I'd been pissed. I'd been mad. Like,
That's why he was mad.
no, like once I found out that she was the cat, not just like, oh, that makes sense. No, I've been mad. Been like, who the hell do you think you are?
That's why they both smell like the sun. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what the fuck do you mean? That cat watched me bathe. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would have been like, wow, that's I would have probably blown my top. I'd have been so mad. But yeah, there's not much else to say about the movie. It was a movie. Yeah,
It was a movie.
it was a movie
Yeah.
indeed.
It was a movie. It was a movie.
Indeed. We should eventually like make a rating scale for our personal ratings.
I rated a 3.
I'll give a Whisker Away 4 meows out of 10. No, I'll give it 5. I'll give it a nice. I've seen a lot worse movies. My husband watches B movies Netflix Netflix movies all the time, and it's just like, no. So I'll give it a 5 meows out of 10 stalkers. I don't know.
I'm giving it a 3 just because it was poorly executed. It's like if it would have been executed even slightly better, I'd say a 5.
Sorry, I unplugged myself.
But it is a 3 for me. And that's because I've seen a lot of bad movies, but the bad movies have something redeeming to them, like that make them like exceptionally bad.
Or like the cult classics that are so bad that they're good. I did not hit her. Like what?
Yeah, it's so bad that, but it has entertainment value because of how bad it is.
Yeah, this doesn't fall into
This
that
one
category.
This one's just kind of.
Yeah.
Like a 5 is a good.
I like the animation style. It was very fun to watch.
Good.
It was very fun to look at.
The way they did the fuzz on the cats was good.
Yeah, I mean, it
cats were in
was
the light,
visually could stood up to Ghibli's standards, definitely.
Yeah, visually it could stand up to a Ghibli film.
And the dub was
plot-wise,
great.
they have-
The dub was great.
plot-
Boss, you can
plot-wise, they-
agree the
yeah.
dub is good, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the studio has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
They've got the ideas. It's the execution they need to work on.
Keep up the sound and the graphic design and work on your writing just a little bit there, Studio Colorado.
Yeah, work on your
Yeah.
writing, and you can definitely be a really good studio.
But what is the point of a movie is to tell a story, I guess, maybe. And they did.
Tell a story well.
It depends on what you're trying to get across, so not awful,
If you're
not great.
going-
Final review. Not awful, not great.
If you're gonna tell something in a visual media, you should tell it well, because it is a very saturated market. There's tons of movies out there, and if I wanted to see a movie like this, in all honesty, I could just go watch Spirited Away and get a better version of this film.
There's no people turning into cats, though, in Spirited Away.
No,
But there is a dragon.
It's a similar.
But there is a
It's
dragon.
but it's a very similar story. The basic idea of it, the character that needs to learn how to appreciate the people around him.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts?
No.
No? I think we kind of hashed it all out. Boss,
Give my final thought on
once
it.
again, we steamrolled you. Do you have anything to add?
No, I look forward to seeing what's on for next week.
Awesome. Me too. Thanks for watching, our Patreon friends. We'll see you guys
Thank you for being here.
in the next
See you
one.
guys. Take care.
Thanks
Bye.
for having me, guys.
All right, turning off recording now. Then we can do our bye-bye shit.